Your Majesty, what is the purpose of your visit in the United States?
Your Majesty, do you think the United Nations has accomplished its purpose?
Your Majesty, does Ethiopia have professional athletic teams as we do in the United States?
The National Broadcasting Company presents Youth Wants to Know, a program dedicated to the principle that the future of America rests with the young people of our nation. And to help resolve some of the questions in their minds, here is Stephen McCormick speaking for Theodore Granick, founder and producer of Youth Wants to Know. Mr. McCormick.
This week, a distinguished foreign visitor conferred with President Eisenhower at the White House. And today, we're happy to have with us as our guest His Majesty ኃይለስላሴ, Emperor of Ethiopia. We of Youth Wants to Know take great pride in presenting the Emperor to the American people, and we thank him for the honor that he's bestowed upon us. Our interpreter is Mr. Endel-Kachu, Director General of Protocol of the Ethiopian Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Your Majesty, the young people who take part in our program under the auspices of the National Public Relations Division of the American Legion have many questions for you, and if you're ready, shall we go ahead? Fine. Well, the young lady here, you have a question.
Your Majesty, my name is Helene Cusick. What is the purpose of your visit to the United States?
ግርማዊነቱ ወደ አሜሪካ ዩናይትድ የመጣበት ምክንያት ምንድነው?
አሜሪካን መንግስትና ህዝብ ለዓለም ሁሉ መልካም ነገር ማድረጉን አውቀን ብዙ ጊዜ እንመኝ ነበርና ይሄን ባይናችን ለማየት የመጣነው ዋናው መሰረት ለዚህ ነው።
We knew from the beginning that the United States does a lot of good for the world at large, and we have come here to see for ourselves in response to the invitation of President Eisenhower.
We have another question here. Go ahead, please.
Emperor Selassie, my name is Mary Jean Creek. Does Ethiopia encourage its students to go abroad to study?
ኢትዮጵያ ተማሪዎቿ ወደ ውጭ ሀገር ሄደው እንዲማሩ ታደርጋለችን?
ጠላት ሳይገባም በአገራችን ጠላት ተገባም ወዲህ ከስራችን መጀመሪያ አድርገን ያያዝነው ለኢትዮጵያ ልጆች ትምህርት እንዲያገኙ ወደ ውጭ ሀገር መስደድን ነው።
It has always been my purpose before the war as well as after the war to send students abroad so that they could study abroad and come back to help their country.
Mary Jane, you wish to have another question?
Emperor, you recently made a statement encouraging American scientists to come to Ethiopia and study its natural resources. Does Ethiopia encourage its own students to go into the field of science?
ከዚህ ቀደም ባደረጉት ንግግር የአሜሪካ ሳይንቲስቶች የመጡ የኢትዮጵያን ሀብት እንዲያወጡና እንዲሰሩ ንግግር ቃል ሰጥተዋል። የኢትዮጵያ ተማሪዎች በሳይንስ ረገድ ብዙ እርምጃ እንዲያደርጉ ይደክማሉን?
የተቻለውን ያህል አሜሪካኖች በሚያስፈልገው ቴክኒሲያናቸው እንዲረዱን ስናደርግ የኢትዮጵያ ልጆች ደግሞ ይሄን ተከትለው ይሄን ትምህርት ተምረው አገራቸውን እንዲረዱ ለማድረግ የምንደክምበት መንገድ ነው።
In the same way as it's our purpose to employ American technicians and scientists, in the same way also it's our aim to educate our students in the field of science so that they can also participate and take part in the program of the reconstruction of the country.
We have another question here in the front row. Go ahead, please.
Your Majesty, my name is Jim Garber. What courses will be offered at your university when it is completed?
አሁን የተጀመረው ዩኒቨርሲቲ ሲያልቅ ምን አይነት ትምህርት ለማስተማር ሐሳብ አለ?
አሁን የተጀመረው እኛ ሀገር ላይ አሁን የተጀመረው ዩኒቨርሲቲ ሲያልቅ በየአይነቱ የሕክምና የሳይንስ በሙሉ በሌሎቹ ሀገሮች የሚሰሩት የዩኒቨርሲቲ ትምህርት እንዲገቡና እንዲጀምሩ ነው ሐሳባችን።
It is my intention to have established in the new university in Addis Ababa the different faculties of law, science and other branches of learning that one finds in any modern university in the world.
Well, here's a question over here. The young lady has her hand raised.
Your Majesty, my name is Rosalie Barbera, and I would like to know, does your government function along the lines of the English Parliament system or more like the American system?
የግርማዊነቱ ንጉሠ ነገሥት መንግስት በእንግሊዝ አይነት ነው ወይስ በአሜሪካን አይነት ነው ተመሳሳይነቱ የሚተዳደረው?
ህገ መንግስታችንን እኛው በፈቃዳችን ለህዝባችን ስንሰጥ በመጀመሪያ ጊዜ ከሁሉም ህገ መንግስት አዋተን ለሀገራችን የሚስማማውን አድርገናል። አሁንም ለፍጻሜው የምናስበው እውነተኛው የዲሞክራሲ መንግስት እንዲሆን በዚህ አይነት ለማደራጀት ነው።
When I gave a constitution to my people out of my own will, it was a constitution which was based on the constitutions of many democratic countries. It is also my intention for the future to have this constitution developed on the lines on democratic lines.
You have another question? All right, we have a hand raised over here. Oh, now we have the question of the week, and I might point out that before taking our next regular question, it's time to announce the winner of this week's 30-volume set of the Encyclopedia Americana, America's first and oldest encyclopedia. The winner this week is Sandra Erickson, 2106 10th Avenue East, Hibbing, Minnesota. And the station named the Americana Station of the Week is WMFG, Hibbing, Minnesota. For details of the contest, listen for the announcement at the end of the program. And now, may we hear the winning question, please?
What is the most important thing small nations can do for the promotion of world peace?
ታናናሽ መንግስቶች የዓለም ሰላም እንዲጸና ማድረግ የሚችሉት ምንድነው?
የዓለም ሰላም የሚጸናው አሁን የተጀመረው የዩናይትድ ኔሽን ስራ በብርታት የተሰራ እንደሆነና ለሰው ልጅ ሁሉ selfishness የቀረ እንደሆነ ነው።
The best thing that small nations can do for the United Nation for the peace of the world is to follow the principles of the United Nations effectively, and also if all nations give up selfishness.
All nations give up selfishness.
Yes.
I think that's a very fine point. Well taken. Now we have another question. Jim.
Emperor Selassie, my name is Jim Holmes. If the United Nations sends troops to Indochina, will Ethiopia send a delegation also?
የዓለም መንግስታት ማህበር ወደ ኢንዶቻይና ጦር የላኩ እንደሆነ ኢትዮጵያም ምትልካለች ወይ?
እኛ መሰረት ያደረግነው ሴኩሪቲ ኮሌክቲቭ ነው። ለሴኩሪቲ ኮሌክቲቭ ለማናቸውም ቢሆን አግሬሽን ለሚያደርግ ሁሉ ለሴኩሪቲ ኮሌክቲቭ መርዳታችን አይቀርም።
Collective security is the basis of our foreign policy, and Ethiopia is prepared to stand against aggression wherever it may appear.
Mr. Andrew, I'm sure that the Majesty would maybe perhaps like to tell our boys and girls that your troops did participate in the Korean conflict. Is that not true?
ግርማዊነቱ ለተማሪዎች ለተሰበሰቡ ተማሪዎች ወታደሮቹ በኮሪያ መዋጋታቸውን ሊነግሯቸው ይወዳሉ?
ከጠየቁኝ ደስ ይለኛል።
If there are any questions on that subject, His Imperial Majesty will be pleased to answer them.
All right, fine. We might have a question yet. Go ahead.
Your Majesty, my name is Ray Barnes. As a charter member of the United Nations, do you think it is accomplishing its purpose?
ኢትዮጵያ የዓለም መንግስታት ማህበርተኛ በመሆኗ ስለሆነች ግርማዊነቱ የዩናይትድ ኔሽን ማህበር የሚያስፈልገውን ያደርግ ይመስሎታልን?
የዩናይትድ ኔሽን ማህበር እስካሁንም ድረስ መልካም ሰርቷል። አሁንም ወደፊት የዓለም ሰላም በዩናይትድ ኔሽን ብርታት ደህና ሆኖ ወደ መልካም እርምጃ እንዲደርስ ተስፋ እናደርግበታለን።
His Imperial Majesty says that the United Nations has accomplished many important tasks already, and that it is his hope that the United Nations will continue to do good in the world in the future.
A question here?
Your Majesty, why has your country been so successful in promoting your economic expansion when other countries are finding it so difficult?
ሌሎች ሀገሮች በችግር ላይ ሳሉ ኢትዮጵያ ይሄን ያህል በኢኮኖሚ ረገድ እርምጃ ለማድረግ የቻለችበት ምክንያት ምን ይመስሎታል?
ኢትዮጵያ በማናቸውም ነገር ትልቅ ሪሶርስ ያላት ሀገር ነች። ስለዚህ ይሄን የሀብት ምንጯን ዴቨሎፕ ለማድረግ ከአሜሪካን ማህበር ጋር እየተነጋገረች ከፍ ለማድረግ ነው ሐሳቧ። የሀገሯ ሀብት በግድ ኢኮኖሚዋን የሚያሰፋ ነው።
The great reason for the economic expansion of Ethiopia is the abundance of its natural resources, and it's the intention of His Imperial Majesty's government to collaborate with American enterprises in order to expand even more the economic resources of the country.
Do you have an additional question?
Yes. Will this new discovery of uranium in your country go a long way towards promoting a better economy?
በሀገሩ ዩራኒየም ይገኛል የተባለው ዩራኒየም ኢኮኖሚኩን ያስፋፋ ይመስሉታል?
የመጀመሪያው ምልክት ተገኝቷል። ይሄውም ወደፊት ምን ያህል እንደሚሰጥ ይመረመራል። ይሄ ሲገኝ የሀገሬን ኢኮኖሚ ከፍ ያደርገዋል ብዬ ተስፋ የማደርግበት ነው።
The first signs of uranium deposit have been found, and it's the hope of His Imperial Majesty that uranium will contribute to the development of the country at large.
Young lady has a hand raised. Go ahead.
Emperor Selassie, my name is Lois Allen, and I would like to know in what manner has Ethiopia been successful in encouraging the investment of foreign capital?
ኢትዮጵያ የውጭ ሀገር ካፒታል እንዲገባ የተጣጣረችበትን መንገድ ለመረዳት እወዳለሁ።
ኢትዮጵያ የውጭ ሀገር ካፒታል እንዲገባ የምታደርገው የሀገሩን ሀብት እንዲስፋፋ ለማድረግና የሀገሩ ሀብት ሲስፋፋ ለህዝባችን ህይወት የሚሆነውን ሁሉ ለማግኘት ነው።
Ethiopia is directing her legislation towards the entry of capital into Ethiopia so that it will take part in the great development of the country for the benefit of the people.
There's a young fellow there with a Boy Scout uniform.
Majesty, I am Bob Ambrose. Are you looking for United States aid to help develop your public utility system?
የሀገር ፐብሊክ ዩቲሊቲ ማለት እንደ ሙኒሲፓል እንደዚህ ያሉትን ነገሮችን ለማስፋፋት ዩናይትድ ስቴትስ መንግስት እንዲረዳው ይጠብቃሉ ነው ተስፋ ያደርጋሉ ነው።
ዩናይትድ ስቴትስ እንደዚህ ለሀገራችን ለትምህርትም ሆነ ለህዝብ ጤናም ሆነ አሁን እንደጀመረው እንዲረዳን በጣም ትልቅ ተስፋ አድርገን የምንጠብቀው ነው።
We expect most fervently the United States government to help us, to give us its assistance in all fields of Ethiopian life, public life.
There's the young lady with the rose.
Emperor Selassie, my name is Elva Sherwell, and I want to know if Ethiopia has actually signed a 99-year pact with the United States for military bases.
ኢትዮጵያ ለ99 ዓመት የወደብ የጦር ወደብ ውል መፈረሟ እርግጥ መሆኑን እንዲያረጋግጡልኝ ለምናለሁ።
ኢትዮጵያ ለ99 ዓመት ይሄን ውል መፈረሟ እርግጥ ነው።
It is true that Ethiopia has signed a pact for military bases of 99 years with the United States of America.
Ronald, your question.
Your Majesty, my name is Ronald Nuttall, and I would like to know, would Ethiopia join in a collective security pact with other Near East and African nations?
ኢትዮጵያ ከመካከለኛ ምስራቅና ከአፍሪካ ሀገሮች ጋራ የህብረት ውል የጦር ውል ለማድረግ ፍላጎት አላት ነው ታስባለች ወይ?
ኢትዮጵያ ለሴኩሪቲ ኮሌክቲቭ ትረዳለች። ከሌሎቹ መንግስቶች ጋራ ለመተባበር በገና ሐሳብ ላይ ነው።
Ethiopia is always willing to cooperate in any alliance which is for the good of collective security.
And your question, please.
Your Majesty, my name is Holly O'Connor. Do you think that free nations like Ethiopia and the United States can stay free by acting together to stop aggressors?
ነፃ የሆኑ መንግስታት ሁሉ አንድ ላይ በመሆን ነፃነታቸውን ለመጠበቅ እንደሚችሉ ግርማዊነቱ ያምናልን?
ነፃ የሆኑ ትንንሽ መንግስቶች ለሀገራቸው የሚቻላቸውን እየሰሩ ከሌሎች ከትልልቆች መንግስቶች ጋር ተባብለው ነፃነታቸውን ሊጠብቁ ይችላሉ ብለን ተስፋ እናደርጋለን።
It's my conviction that nations can only preserve their independence by standing together.
Miss O'Connor, you have another question?
Do you think there will be another world war?
ሌላ የዓለም ጦርነት እንደሚነሳ መስሎታል ወይ?
ለዚህ ነብይ ለመሆን ጥቂት ያስቸግራል። እንዳይነሳ ግን ተስፋ እናደርጋለን።
It is my hope that it will not arise, but of course it is difficult to prophesy on such matters.
Go ahead, your question, please.
Your Majesty, my name is Alfreda Cook. What was your first impression of the United States?
መጀመሪያ አሜሪካ ነገር ሲደርሱ ተሰማዋትና ያዩት ምንድነው?
ይህንን ትላቅ ህዝብ በማየታችን የህዝቡን ትላቅነት እናመሰግናለን። ከዚያም በቀር በአገሩ ውስጥ የተሰራው ስራ ሁሉ ከሌሎች የበለጠ ትልቅ ነው።
It's the greatness of your people and the greatness of the enterprise, the hospitality also, which has impressed His Imperial Majesty most.
Another question?
Your Majesty, since your arrival in the United States, have you sampled an American milkshake?
ሚልክሼክ የሚባለውን መጠጥ ቀምሰዋል በአሜሪካ ነገር ከመጣሁ
እዚህ ከመጣሁ ገና አልቀመስኩም ግን ኤርትራ ወታደሮቹ ሰፈር ላይ ቀምሼ በጣም ወድጄዋለሁ
He has not tasted milkshake here in America, but he tasted the milkshake in the military base in Asmara, northern Ethiopia, and he liked it very much.
I'm sure that we could probably arrange before the Emperor leaves Washington to have a milkshake for him. So we have a question here. Your question. Go ahead.
Your Majesty, my name is Edward Shar, and I would like to know how far back you can trace your ancestry.
የግርማዊነቱን ትውልድ እስከምን ድረስ ለመቁጠር ይችላል?
መጀመሪያው ከሰሎሞን ከተወለደው ከምኒልክ ልጅ ጀምሮ ለመቁጠር ይቻላል።
The ancestry of His Imperial Majesty goes back to the first Menelik the first son of Solomon and Queen of Sheba.
Your question.
Your Majesty, my name is Anne Lois. I would like to know what kind of a climate you have in Ethiopia.
የኢትዮጵያን ያየሩን ሁናቴ ለምን እንደሆነ ግርማዊነቱ ይነግረን መስለናል።
አገሬን ብታዩት በጣም ደስ ይለኛል። አገሬ የነፋስ ህይወት ሁሉ አይነት ደጋው ላይ ቀዝቃዛ ቆላው ላይ ሙቀት ሆኖ ለሰው ልጅ የሚስማማ ህይወት ያለበት ነፋስ።
The climate of Ethiopia is very pleasant indeed. It's a very varied climate. The highlands have a different climate, whereas also the lowlands have different kind of climate also. It is the fervent wish of His Majesty that one day you will also come and visit Ethiopia.
Well, I'm certain that our boys and girls would be delighted to accept the invitation, and if I may, the moderator will go along too. A question here.
Your Majesty, my name is Ed Games. Does Ethiopia have professional athletic teams as we do in the United States?
ኢትዮጵያ የስፖርት ክለቦች አሏት ወይ? እዚህ ዩናይትድ ስቴትስ እንዳሉን ሁሉ
ደህና አርጎ ጀምሯል። ይህንንም ለማስረዳት አሁን የኛ የኢትዮጵያ ልጆች ለአትሌቲክስ ስራ በዩጎስላቪያ በግሪክ ሀገር በግብጽ ሀገር እየሄዱ አሳይተዋል።
The athletic life of Ethiopia is in its beginning stage, but already our athletes have shown great progress and have distinguished themselves on the tracks of countries such as Yugoslavia, Greece, and other countries of the world.
The question in the last row.
Your Majesty, my name is Alan Shine. How do you think the Supreme Court's decision to ban segregation will affect America's prestige in the world at large?
የውስጥ ጉዳይ እነሱ የራሳቸው ጉዳይ ነው። የአሜሪካ ከፍተኛው ፍርድ ቤት ጥቁርና ነጭ እንዲቀላቀል ያለበት decision ምን ይመስሉታል?
May I point out that necessarily we don't want to embarrass anyone in discussing our own domestic politics, so if it strikes you that way, it's perfectly all right.
ይገባናል የራሳችን ጉዳይ መሆኑን።
ይሄንን እንደዚህ ያለ ህግ የአሜሪካን መንግስት በማውጣቱ እኛም ደስ ብሎናል። የአሜሪካን መንግስት የሚገባውን ፍርድ አድርጓል ብለን በቤቱ ውስጥ እናደንቀው ነገር ነው።
Although this is a matter which is of domestic importance, such a measure as has been taken by the Supreme Court, His Majesty is sure that it's for the good of the people.
There's a question here. Go ahead.
Your Majesty, I would like to know what attractions there are for tourists in Ethiopia.
መንገደኞች ኢትዮጵያ ሲመጡ ኢትዮጵያን የሚጎበኙ ሰዎች ምን አይነት ነገር ለማየት ይችላሉ?
ሀገራችን ብዙ ነገር ለማየት ይችላሉ። ይሄውም ያውሬ አደንም ቢፈልጉ ቆላና ደጋገርም ቢፈልጉ ልዩ ልዩ ቦታ ሄደው እንደልባቸው ለማየት ይችላሉ።
The tourist in Ethiopia can see very many different things. On the historical side, we have our historical ancient cities, the monuments and monasteries. And for those who are interested in game hunting, there are extensive areas reserved for this purpose.
Yes, go ahead with your question.
Your Majesty, my name is James Partello. In a proclamation made in 1952, you stated your intentions of distributing the unused land in your country among the landless. What has been accomplished toward this?
1952 ዓመተ ምህረት ባወጡት ህግ የኢትዮጵያ ትርፍ መሬት ሁሉ ለባለ መሬት እንዲሰጥ ህግ አዋጅ አውጀዋል። በዚህ ረገድ የተሰራው ምንድነው ማለት ነው?
ማወጅ ብቻ አይደለም። ወደዚህም ወደ አሜሪካን ከመምጣቴ በፊትና ካወጅን በኋላ መሬቱን መስጠት፣ መሬቱን እየሄደ እንዲካፈል ማድረግ፣ ለዚያ መርዳትን ሁሉ ጀምረን መሬት የተቀበሉም ሰዎች ብዙ ሰዎች አሉ።
The proclamation which was made in 1952 has been put into good practice, and His Imperial Majesty gives as example the fact that many people have already taken possession of their lands, and that just before he came to the United States many more people were coming forward to take their places in the community life of villages and countryside of Ethiopia.
And there's a young lady with her hand raised.
Your Majesty, my name is Kathleen Doolin. I'd like to know what is the principal means of transportation in Ethiopia?
ኢትዮጵያ ወዲያ ወዲህ የምትሉበትና የምትሄዱበት ትራንስፖርት መንገድ ምንድነው?
ባቡር፣ አውቶሞቢል የሚበቃ አይደለም እንጂ አለን።
There is road transport, there is rail transport, and there is a successful Ethiopian Airlines transport which has been put on recently.
And a question here again.
Emperor Selassie, do the young people of Ethiopia receive the major part of their education in church schools or public schools?
ብዙዎቹ ኢትዮጵያ ወጣቶች ትምህርታቸውን የሚያገኙት ከቤተክርስቲያን ትምህርት ቤቶች ነው ወይስ ከመንግስት ትምህርት ቤቶች ነው?
ብዙዎቹ ወጣቶች መጀመሪያ የቤተክርስቲያን ትምህርት የተቻላቸውን ያደርጋሉ። በተረፈ የውጭ ሀገር ትምህርት በየአይነቱ ይማራሉ።
The basis of education is the religious education which is given by the church, and students after having accomplished their primary religious education go to the government schools for higher and secondary studies.
You have a question?
Yes, I have another one. Is there any tuition which has to be paid for attending the school?
ተማሪ ቤቶች ነፃ ናቸው ነው ወይስ የሚከፈል ገንዘብ አለ?
የነፃ የሆኑ ተማሪ ቤቶችም አሉ፣ የሚከፈልም አለ።
There are two kinds of schools. There are those which are free and others to which you have to pay fees to go in to learn.
And you have it. Go ahead.
Your Majesty, what is the highest degree one can achieve in your country?
The highest degree in what sense?
College degree, like a Doctor of Arts.
የምስክር ወረቀት ከኢትዮጵያ ትምህርት ቤቶች የሚገኘው ከሁሉ ከፍ ያለው የትኛው?
እስካሁን ድረስ ከፍ ያለው የሚገኘው ዩኒቨርሲቲ ኮሌጅ የሚወጡት የኮሌጅ ምስክር ወረቀት ያገኛሉ። ወደፊት ግን የምንሰራው ዩኒቨርሲቲ ያንኑ የሚገባውን ዲግሪ እንዲያገኝ ይሰናዳል።
For the time being, the highest degree that is given or certificate that is given is the one of the University College. But of course, in the future, when the university in Addis Ababa will be established and begin its work, the normal ordinary degree will be given to students.
And your question?
Your Majesty, my name is Rudolph Auction, and I would like to know what you think of our own educational facilities, our schools and colleges.
በዚህ ሀገር ያሉትን ስለህሉት ትምህርት ቤቶችና ኮሌጆች ምን ይመስሉታል?
ያሉትን ተማሪ ቤቶችና ኮሌጆች አንዳንዱን ወደፊት እንጎበኛለን። ትላንት ያየነው የሃርቨርድ ኮሌጅ በጣም ዩኒቨርሲቲ ደስ ያለ አኳኋን አሳይቶናል።
His Imperial Majesty is yet to visit many of the colleges and universities of your country. But for instance, the university which he visited yesterday and which honored him with an honorary degree, the Harvard University, has impressed him very, very much.
Mr. Endelkachu, I wonder before finishing our program if His Majesty would care to pass along a word of advice to our young boys and girls since he's had such a broad and varied experience.
ግርማዊነቱ በብዙ ሀገር ውስጥና ብዙ ችግር ውስጥ ያለፉ ስለሆኑ አንድ አይነት ምክር ለተማሪዎች ሊሰጡ ይወዱ ይሆናል እና አንድ ምክር ሊሰጧቸው ይወዳሉ ወይ?
የአሜሪካን ሕዝብ ራሱን ብቻ ሳይወድ ሌሎቹንም ነጻነት ያላቸውን ሕዝብ መውደዱን በብዙ ስራው ላይ አሳይቷልና የአሜሪካን ልጆችና ትላልቅ ሰዎች ይህንኑ የጀመሩትን ለሰው ልጅ በጎ ማድረግ እንዲፈጽሙ ከመናገር በቀር ሌላ ልነግራቸው አልችልም።
The only advice perhaps which His Imperial Majesty would like to leave with this gathering assembly of youth is that just in the same way as the United States has befriended the free nations of the world, so also you, the young men and women of the United States, will be the friends of people everywhere, of free people everywhere in the world.
የዓለምንም ህዝብ ሰላም ለመፈለግ አሁን እስካሁን ድረስ አሜሪካን ባደረገው አካሄድ የጨረሰ እንደሆነ የዓለም ሰላም እንዲፈጸም ተስፋ የሚያስደርግ ነው።
His Imperial Majesty hopes that is sure that if the United States continues the same way as she's doing now, she will be able to preserve the peace of the world.
ያለፉት አባቶቻችን እንደተቸገሩ የሚመጡት ልጆቻችን እንዳይቸገሩ ከዚህ የሚሻል መድኃኒት የለም።
There is no other way by which a better world can be created for the future generation than by collective security and collaboration between free nations.
And we have another question. Do you have a question?
Your Majesty, my name is Julianne Blewett. Is your principle of law the same in Ethiopia as in America, that a man is innocent until proved guilty?
Very short, please.
የህግ አሰራር በኢትዮጵያ ያለው የህግ አሰራር ከአሜሪካ ጋር ተመሳሳይ ነው ወይ?
I'm sorry, before we could answer that, I find in looking at the clock that our time is up. And I wish we had more time for questions. I'm sure we'd like to sit here for some time and discuss our questions and answers. We certainly do thank you, Your Excellency, ኃይለስላሴ, Emperor of Ethiopia, for helping to provide the answers that youth wants to know. And our deep thanks to you, Mr. Endelkachu, for being with us today. Next week, Youth Wants to Know will present as guest Senator Everett M. Dirksen, Republican of Illinois, member of the Senate Appropriations Committee, and a number of other Senate committees. And now this is Stephen McCormick speaking for Theodore Granick and bidding you goodbye.